Actually, yeah. So how we're gonna start this one off is essentially how we're gonna start this one off is tune. We're going to tune into a specific frequency today. And with that frequency, we are going to allow it to take us where it needs us to go. Okay. So here we go. This is 432 hertz. Okay. You can see it very clearly right here. 432 hertz. Okay. So just tap in. Breathe into it. Align, allow, let go of what doesn't belong. Once again. And exhale. Just stay with that frequency, stay with that energy. Last time. Breathe in that frequency. Good. Feel it through your entire beingness, your entire body, your mind, body, and spirit complex. Good. Excellent. All right, guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the masterclass. There's hella noises outside, but we gotta ignore this, right? We got like Tokyo Drift going on outside for some reason. Some other, people are trying to get me off of this platform because they like to make hella noise whenever I like to make videos. But, it is what it is. Got the green screen over here. You know what it is. We staying busy. I'm staying busy with my business. You know what I mean? I got some new projects coming up. One of them being called Soul Eater, which is a shadow work mastery program. Oh my goodness, guys. If you are a man watching right now, if you are a man watching and you're not doing shadow work, you're crippling your results in all areas of life. Okay? And I say this in the most straightforward way because shadow work is really the thing that changed my life. And it's a lifelong process. I still continue to do it. This is when I get really sketchy when other people, they aren't using their own products. They're testing it out on other people. But what if you could use your own product to change your own life? And then you can also test it on other people, sure. Because when you know it has an impact on you, you're just that much more invested in it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, man. When we relate to another human being, it's usually a clash of their shadows with ours. And you've got to know this. A person that you're attracted to, you're also attracted to their shadows. You're attracted to their subconscious mind. Now, there's a theory out there that I don't know if this is true. Okay, I heard this a very long time ago, maybe in 2018 or something, right? Maybe it was 2019. That there's this theory called imago theory, okay? Got this from Nikki Sunshine. She's a relationship coach, okay? She does womb heart healing and stuff like that. I think that's her Instagram too nowadays. But yeah, there's this theory called imago. Imago coming from image. Image, imagination, imaginary. Imago, okay? The imprints, the gestures of our image that we portray. Imago theory states that we unconsciously attract someone into our lives that trigger our childhood patterns and our wounds so that we can heal them. So have you ever been in a relationship where you get super triggered by something that she says, but there's a direct link to you being annoyed at your mother or some other thing, right? Just a direct connective tissue that you cannot even see. You see, I was born in a C-section birth. There was a lot of complications from my birth. Now, as an infant, I was probably terrified of that. I had no conscious awareness of this. This was the subconscious becoming like a sponge for these experiences, right? And later on, when I discovered bioenergetics, I started to notice that I was the schizoid archetype. I would go into my mind to feel that sense of safety because I did not feel like I belonged. And that was the constant theme. It's like my core wound is that I do not belong, I do not belong. And I've seen that in so many different patterns of my life that it's scary. It's actually scary, right? So this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not for the weak-minded person. Shadow work is if you have a healthy self-esteem and you're confident and you're certain and you have self-love, that's when you should begin shadow work. You don't want to get into shadow work if you have no sense of self, completely frazzled. Now you can begin shadow work, but you need a backbone. You need strength. You need integrity, right? You need acceptance. And if you're strong enough to handle this, I highly recommend this program. Okay? I've decided to make it for 7 weeks because I think that that's going to be the most effective solution because it is the stages of alchemy. But we're also understanding this in combination with another product called Matches into Dates, which is a text-based system, okay, that has been created by the founder Ryan G and myself as well. I've helped to, use this product in a sense to get more matches, to get on more dates and things like this. And combining the Soul Eater program, which is the Shadow Work Mastery, along with the Matches into Dates program, some patterns started to emerge for all of us men. One, women who we are attracted to trigger us as well, like trigger the fuck out of us, right? And we have to be able to handle that, stay grounded in our purpose and presence, because it's our shadows communicating with their shadows. Now, this actually has a direct application in healing, right? Because you want your family lineage to live on. That's the whole reason we have relationships, right? We want our lineage to pass on. It's a game of genetics at the end of the day. So if you know that your baseline level of happiness, 50% is already genetics, that's out of the way, right? 10% is circumstances. You get into a car crash, you win the lottery, something random happens, right? And then you go, whoa, that's wild. And that changes your life. That event can shift your baseline level of happiness, okay? And then, of course, we have actions that we can take. This is also from our internal world. We're shifting things around and doing things, right? Like a gratitude practice, like forgiving those people that we still hold resentment for. Like all of these different things, right? There are different actions that you can take to actually raise your baseline level of happiness. And I think this is also where books like The Upward Spiral comes in. I know I say Upward Spiral Gang a lot, but there is an actual book called The Upward Spiral, which is raising up, basically reversing depression through neuroscience, right? There's another book I want to reference called Dad Frame. Not a lot of people know this guy, okay? Walter Spitzerstein, I'm shouting you out, man. I'm shouting you out because this has been a very interesting character archetype calibration, okay, for our own relationships. That if we were to be the king of our kingdom, the father of our lives, how would we handle it? And it's a very tough question to confront because what if we didn't have a healthy role model as a father, right? What if? So if you did not have that, if you did not have a strong man as a father, you're going to look for that elsewhere. You're going to look for that leadership in other people. And usually this is what men do. They go online. They search for that leadership. They search for that ability to challenge themselves and be the best version of themselves, to start to construct their persona instead of detach from everything. Because even in the isolation chamber, right, or you take yourself away from the world, which is a lot of us. We're going to lockdown. So if you're stuck in this isolation chamber right now, and you want to find a way out, what is the way through? What is the way out? Why aren't you working out? You feel lazy, you have no drive, you have no momentum, you're not getting any matches, you aren't getting any dates. You're trying all these apps and you're like, man, this is frustrating. Why aren't these people matching with me? Why am I always being left on red? Why are girls flaking on me on dates? What is going on here? What is the real pattern? The real pattern is a character level pattern, which goes back to your childhood, which goes back to your attachment styles, which goes into your psychology, which goes into your internal world. This is what a lot of people are missing out on. You see? Now, I'm not saying you have to get counseling or coaching or therapy or, some kind of like life mastery program. You don't have to do that, any of that. But you do need to do shadow work, even if it means doing it by yourself with a journal and asking yourself the really difficult questions. And as you start to understand that this is relational alchemy, how can we transform an anger that we have over this person into lust? How can we transform this feeling of sadness into happiness in that moment? How can we transform sadness into a meaningfulness, that we are sad because there is meaning to this situation right now? Because if someone presses on your core wound, and they aren't doing it consciously, obviously, they're not. They're not doing it consciously at all. They're completely clueless about it, right? But if they have your hot buttons, if they have the remote control in your hand, they can try to push it as many times. That's the time you get into the dojo. That's the time you practice, right? This morning, I got into a fight with my mother, actually, and I got very triggered, because I'll tell you why. She started poking on my core wound. Okay? I'm gonna leave. Oh, you guys don't listen to me. She started saying, oh, you have to be normal. You have to be a normal person. You have to fit into society. And my core wound of belonging goes, I want to belong, but there's this, right? There's this like arachnid captivating me and holding me back and being like, no, I've got to be the outlaw. I've got to be the outcast. I've got to be the rebel. Fuck society, There is that version of me going and bubbling in the gas chamber. He said, you have to be extraordinary, but you can't be crazy, right? Now let's reflect on this right now. How did I handle that situation? Not well. I started yelling back, certain things. My throat felt that constraint, that charged up feeling. But this was my dojo. This is my training ground. These experiences of her getting mad, of my dad and her not getting along, or whatever it is, right? All families have this dynamic. And everybody wants to pretend that everything's okay. That's not shadow work. Beloved, love and light. No, this is the truth of life. This is you confronting your own shit. This is you stepping up to your parents and being like, no, actually, I'm a person who's going to control my own life now. You don't have a say. And I did not open that door. Absolutely not. And I've been actually staying up at night working on this for you guys. And I do see that codependent pattern, of me like wanting to serve you guys so much that I would lose lack of sleep. I would lose, I'll stop eating, whatever it is. But I know that that's not going to help me either. So what I'm strategizing is getting as much sleep as I can throughout the day or even in the night, whenever I can get it, working on my self-care, working on myself, working on my avatar, working on, being there for myself each and every day, because that is what is truly important. Is that you handle yourself, baby. That's it. And honestly, I've just been so excited as well. So it's difficult to sleep when you have so much excitement, so much energy. I'm also on, I'm retaining, right? I'm also on semen retention. So it's like all of this energy at once, just like bubbling up, and I need to do something and channel this energy into something or someone listening, right? And that's how people reach out to me every day, wanting help, you know, reaching out and being like, yo, can we set something up? Guys, I'm not the type to chase you around and follow up with you. I'm really not. I'm not the type to go around, chase you around, with a clipboard. Oh, but I thought you said you were free at 3, but you didn't show up today. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. If you want to do this, you will know it in the deep of your core. And that's why I have certain clients who come back every week. Every week they're doing something because they're attached to the purpose. I shouldn't say attached, they're connected to their purpose, right? But it is. It's like, hey, I understand that my healing is important. So certain people, man, they keep coming back and they keep leveling up. And something bad happens and they're able to have that Teflon coated ability to just hold it in place. Someone's family members passed away. Okay. Somebody's, relatives passed away. Someone's best friend committed suicide. This is the kind of stuff, right? But they're coming back and they're getting the healing. That's the thing. They're getting the healing. And that's the most important thing, is when people get the healing. Time does not heal. It's what we choose to do in that time that heals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay? You guys have got to understand this. This is a very important component to your dating. You think you got out of a relationship, you have a breakup now, you're reinventing yourself. What does reinventing yourself mean? If it doesn't mean shadow work, you're doing something messed up, man. Because these relationships reveal to you your insecurities. They reveal to you your flaws. They reveal to you all the things you need to work on. Because, hey, that's directly your genetics, your lineage, your survival value, your sexual market value. All of this stuff, it plays into this. So if you're still going to be the same old, nice guy, play good guy game, hey, haha, how's everybody doing? Hey. Oh, hey there, Jessica. Oh, come in. Ha ha ha. It's like, it's not this thing, right? Yes, you can have fun with it. And the fun is a big part of it. But if you're putting on this mask and you're really feeling, there's something messed up inside and I have to reveal it and I have to take care of it and I have to lean into that fear. And you just put it off, you put it off. A lot of people are just putting things off till the last second right now. I'm doing it too, baby. I feel this energy. It's this procrastination. Nah, I'd rather not. The world's going to shit anyway. So, I might as well just enjoy my time as it comes. Pleasure will be like a thing holding you back, man. You want to seek peace, not pleasure. And even in peace, right, you don't feel like doing anything. So it's that purpose, that passion, that drive. But if it's that pleasure, yo, you're going to get fizzled out really fast. So it's time to reconvene with your main pleasure, which is a long-lasting one, a eudaimonic one. So what are we really doing with this text game is we're practicing patience. We're not being this kind of person who's like, oh, quickly meet up with her and then have a date and then hook up and then, no. This is relational alchemy. We're building a storyline of your life. We're building your love story. We're building your health story. We're building your business story. But we're doing it through working with the subconscious, doing the inner work. And women, You also have access to this archetype work. I'm working with women as well now. Okay? Of course, shadow work mastery is for men, but for women, if you need help with your archetypes, if you need help with finding out what is the version of me that I truly am, and I need to find that connection to that higher archetype that shows up in all these movies that I watch, that shows up in, stories and history, like Athena or Aphrodite, right? Or that girl from Pulp Fiction, or Princess Diana, or any of these women, right? Angelina Jolie. These are all archetypes of women. So as a woman listening, which is your archetype? Which is your ultimate version of you that you can tap into? And there's a quiz that you can do, womenlovepower.com. Go and do that. Let me know what you got. I can train you in this. I found a way to do energy clearing and healing work alongside this as well, because this kind of stuff, man, no one's really looking into this, right? It's like there's a surface level understanding of this kind of stuff, this kind of work. But Jung, many years ago, Carl Gustav Jung, shout out my brother Carl Jung, you know what I'm saying? Basically, he stated this idea of the shadow, and he stated using archetypes. This is where he started. And of course, I lean a little bit more to the Jungian side, just because I've had my fair share of mystical experiences, such as Jung has had himself. And I understand him. I understand his language. I understand his world, this collective unconscious. There's these unconscious, impersonal, symbolic representations showing up in lots of people. There's got to be something. There's got to be a pattern. Right? He's a pattern recognizer, like I am and you are probably, right? He sees the patterns in society. He sees the patterns in people. He sees the patterns in, cultures. And as I've moved around a lot, met most of my life, I've moved around. So if you guys don't know my journey, basically, super young, 7 years old, I moved to Thailand, Bangkok City, for kindergarten and stuff, primary school. Then I moved to Switzerland for middle school, right? That area, that age. Then I went over back to Thailand, right? Back to Thailand again. And this is because my parents were also working for very high prestigious, they're diplomats, they're doctors, right? So my parents are very, established in society. And I kind of became the one who has the knowledge, the wisdom that my parents probably do, but I just applied it to a different area. I didn't apply it to the normie areas because that's not what people need right now. People need healing more than ever right now. So I'm never going to go out of business, because people always need healing. People always need a healer. And that's what you've got to understand, man. Okay. Anyway, so Switzerland, then back to Thailand for high school. Then I went to a college in the US, in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. I think it's called bumfuck, but anyway, in a sense, I was talking to this girl and she called it that. So it's kind of stuck in my head. Where Courage the Cowardly Dog lives, or something like that. But it was like 700 hippie kids on a hill, not even kids, young adults, right? And that's a place you go to rediscover, redefine, recalibrate everything. Like if you really want to talk about finding yourself, I didn't find myself there. I created myself there. I made my life almost like a performance art piece. I saw myself as a character and completely stepped out of my body. And I worked on establishing what is that version of me that I truly prefer to be. And so I tried on different clothes, I was rediscovering like what it means to be there, as a brown man who's traveled the world, lived in Switzerland and been in international schools, and then going to a place in the US like this where where it's legal to walk around like topless and things like this, and confronting, really exploring my first initial sexuality as a man there, because that's when I first started having sex, was in college. And maybe I was like 18, 19. Yeah. And before that, I never had a relationship, right? Before college, high school or whatever, I was the guy who would always get friend zoned, right? That was my time in high school, basically, right? Now, I was popular. I was a rapper, right? In high school, I could still leverage that, but I still shot myself in my own foot in those moments. I remember memories like this. Like, I gave an incredible performance on stage. I would get off, the stage, and this girl would look at me, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, that was amazing. That was really cool." And it's almost like she wanted my attention and she wanted to give me a hug. And I remember this very clear memory where I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." I just hugged her and kind of left it there. And basically not owning my own sauce, not owning my own strengths, but also not understanding that I was hurt, and I didn't know how to express that. And I didn't know what to do with my emotions, because I entered the world of exploring my emotions through rap battling. And rap battling is this very aggressive kind of like insulting people, right? But if you can insult someone that bad, man, you can insult yourself quite worse. And that's what I discovered later, man. Okay? This world of insulting others, you see them and you just break them down psychologically, right? That's what you do in hip hop. You take someone, you break them down psychologically so you can hurt them. And that was kind of my fighting growing up. My fighting was verbal. I don't think I got into any physical altercations or anything. I would always be the one who would fight in my own mind also, because at that age, rap was my outlet. So that was the way that I expressed and channeled myself, right? But I couldn't say it directly to somebody's face. It would have to come out through lyrics, right? And maybe some of you introverts, some people listening, you guys can resonate with this, where you can't really express like what you're trying to say, but it comes out through your artistic craft. And this is what's going to happen when you start texting people, right? Your true expression is going to start coming out, because once you start looking at this as a dojo, as a creative, exploration, as a performance art piece, as your ability to make this texting somebody else and like meeting up for a date or whatever as a meditation, as a meditative practice where you allow space between the words. You don't reply right away. You find the right time. You pace your own life. You create your own schedule. And alongside that, you are also texting and improving yourself, right? So this is the thing, man. You got to understand that when you start messaging people, you're coming off a certain way. There's a certain frequency that you're sending out that people can see and hear. Like, maybe they can't see you texting, they can't hear you. But think about this, right? Think about this idea of when you're sending a voice message to someone. Okay, I'll give you a very brief example. Okay, so let's say you're sending a voice message to someone and you're kind of slouched over like this, and you're like, "Hey, yeah, man, I'm super tired today, man." Right? Now, would you be like, "Hey, man, I'm super tired today, man"? No, it just does not link. There's an incongruency. Your body posture affects how people are hearing you. You see what I'm saying? So this is like an asana almost. Like in yoga, you have an asana. When you're sending a text message, that is also a position, an asana, which is actually a state of consciousness, technically, is what an asana is at the most advanced level. So let's say that you're trying to be flirtatious. You got to embody flirtatiousness through your body, right? You can't just be like, "Hey, yeah, girl," and then just be like, kind of clumped over sideways and just kind of, in your own world. You're like, you just finished jerking off and there's like coffee stains all over and you're just like, hey girl, what's up? She's going to read that vibration, man. She's getting that vibration from you on the other side through your words. The words are the vibration hitting through the phone, coming out. She's pressing play. The voice message is going, hey girl. And she hears that desperation. She hears that neediness in your voice, wanting to get approval, right? This guy needs me to text him back. She's feeling that. It's like, so we've got to understand this as men and as women, of course, right? We've got to understand this as both genders. We got to really step up when it comes down to our texting, when it comes down to our sending messages. What if you just went on a run, right? You had a great day. You went on a run. You worked out that day. You watched a show that just inspired you and you're ready to talk about it. And you get into the shower and you just shake off all of your stress, and you just have this freedom. You don't have captivity in your body anymore. You have this freedom of expressiveness and expansiveness. And then you go, hey, what's up? I'm just thinking about you. Boom, that's going to hit way differently. Way differently. Why? Because your lifestyle is being heard. Your commitment, your lightness in your voice, that ability to go, oh man, I love this. This is so much fun, right? That lightness, that beingness is what you've got to work on. That character is what you want to work on. So if you are interested, in Soul Eater or the other program, Matches into Dates, shoot either me or Ryan G a message. We'll get you started right away. It's a collaboration program, so if you want to do the package both in one, which, they're like the yin and yang, right? You need one to kind of be successful in the other. If you're just texting people without the shadow work, it doesn't really, hit well. However you can do them, hey, it's up to you, It's completely up to you. What's good, Ryan G? So that's Ryan over there, so you can hit him up, So yeah, if you guys need this, if you want to reach out to us, get on it ASAP. Okay, we're going for $240 right now. So if you are interested, let's get this started. We're gonna coach you. We're gonna change your life. Just give us some time. Give us a big chunk of time. Show up. Be persistent. Communicate. Get on the group. Get on the Telegram. Start participating. Start taking action, and you will start to notice the results. Okay, for those of you just checked in, thank you for checking in. I see that you're live. Go watch the replay of this. Okay, this was a powerful download. Okay, get started. I reveal a lot from my personal life. This text game system has changed my life. The shadow game, shadow game. It's dope to say shadow game, but it is shadow game, right? We're fighting with our shadows. But yeah, shadow work, mastery program has changed my life. And again, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true, right? I just wouldn't speak about this like this. If you know, you know. Exactly. Ryan G's got it, If you know, you know. If you've had the personal experiences and the people's lives that we're transforming behind the scenes, by the way, hella low key, right? We're transforming lives behind the scenes. And soon you're going to see the people who are repping this brand, who are coming out and speaking about it, who are part of the IMC Nation process as well. And I think slowly, man, people are going to start to meet us like we were a checkpoint in the video game of their personal growth journeys. And that's what I see for the future. So we're all prophesizing up in here. You know what I mean? Well, let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Texting is your dojo. Shadow work is your dojo. Let's get it today. Us. Yeah.